What's my favorite part of longboarding downhill? Personally? Oh. I get goosebumps, I get crazy. Brings out a whole, like a wild man. I love the feeling of picking myself up off the pavement after a good crash. Broken 6 helmets in 6 to 9 years or something like that, 10 years.
At that kind of speed, it's a parachute. I hit the ground at about 70 and broke my foot as soon as I stepped off the board.
Broken a lot of helmets, broken a few bones, smelt my skin burn, smelt my shirt burn.
Head on, slamming my ankle into the front left tire.
Just last week, another guy from Colorado got hit head on by a car.
Took me out for 4 months.
His liver popped like a water balloon.
But you can't stop. Just ride till you die.
There was a time in my life where I kind of went away. I drifted away from skateboarding. I was still involved. I was the organizer of the X Games. And about 5 years ago, I started skateboarding again. And it just brought so much back to my life. It was like I found myself. It was like I was reborn almost. And started skateboarding, you know, almost every day. And now I've been racing slalom again and doing freestyle, and actually just got sponsored by Skate King. So I'm a sponsored skateboarder again at 43 years old. It's very cool. Marcus Riedema, and I am the president of the International Gravity Sports Association. The IGSA organizes the Downhill Skateboarding World Tour. What we do is we bring together large events on 5 separate continents. The year started in Australia, and then we went to Europe for 3 events in France, Germany, and Austria. And now we're here with the World Championships at Maryhill. One of the really unique things about downhill skateboarding and gravity sports in general is this whole family atmosphere that we've built up around the world. We go to Europe, we have an event, and everybody comes together from South Africa, from Australia, from Europe, from North America, from South America. And we gather and we have a great, week-long, or in the case in Europe, 3-week-long kind of a group vacation, you could say. Then we split up for a month, and now here we are back at Maryhill, and the whole family is reassembled, and we're just the best of friends, and everybody takes care of each other, we look after each other, and it's a common bond and a love for the sport that brings everyone together.
My name is Quinn Dubois. I'm 9 years old, and I'm from Canada, British Columbia. I'm here with my sister, my dad, and my mom. I got into the sport because my dad bought this big Santa Cruz board. He kind of gave it to me. I rode down a little hill close to my house, and then I just loved it. So I saved up bottle money, bought a Rain Timeline. It took me about 5 months. I was so stoked, and I just went and rode every hill I could.
I started skateboarding when I was around 7 years old. I decided I really wanted to skateboard, and it was the first thing I asked for Christmas. That was all I could think about for the entire time going up to Christmas, and all I could think of after until it was the nice weather and I could ride it. I went and had pads and helmet and went out maybe twice, and that was about it.
Well, the hill is a hill, and it's great. Just flying, you know, it's like nothing else I've ever done before, really. Like, I mean, the first time I hit that hill, Joel brought me up there, and
He was
we
so scared.
you know, it's like you've never, I don't even know. It's like your
when you bring
stomach,
someone up there,
you gotta first bring him to the
rule-
chicane.
yeah, the rule of
because
the hill is you have
gotta
to
watch. Because
So-
you can't just skate the hill, because if you do that, you really, you know, you wouldn't know what you're doing. So you stand on the side of the road, and you watch these dudes come by you at just 70 plus miles an hour, and you can just, before you even see them, you just hear the urethane, you know, and you can hear it, and then they just come by and they're just gone. I mean, it's the coolest thing I've ever done.
Smell that?
Nice smell.
Yeah.
Smells like downhill.
Have fun, you know, just that's what we all came here, started doing in the first place. Became skateboard racing after that. So, you know, just have fun, enjoy the kinship that you have with all the other racers. Definitely push yourself and try to excel each time you step on that board. You know, it's just natural that your mind grows. It's kind of like art or something. You start to do new stuff, and skateboarding is just one of those facets that you can start to try new things.
Have you ever thought that if you would run really fast, Earth would be spinning, and you would be just kind of on the same spot, but as everybody else is spinning, you're staying in one spot and you would see everybody. You see people, you see cities, you see no land, massive ocean, you see weird cultures, and you would just be able to like wave and say hello and then keep going. Or they keep going, you're staying still. That'd be cool.
So our sport has really begun to develop some unique personalities and stars, you could say. I'd say the first one was Martin Siegrist, winning the world championship 3 times and taking the whole sport very seriously. You know, he's not a drinker, smoker, partier guy. You know, he's serious, he trains, he really looks after his equipment. he always presents himself in a very professional way.
I'd say I'm a control freak, and balance plays a big role in all sports I'm doing. The better your balance, the more you feel what you're doing and in which position your body is at the moment. I realized very quickly that practicing my balance on a slackline has improved my feelings on the skateboard. For example, in downhill racing, you can suddenly look back while you're foot braking or going through a corner, and it doesn't affect your riding. I think other riders see me as a disciplined perfectionist, as a technical, controlled athlete. That's why they want to get practice runs with me. Other riders try to follow and pass me, and they feel really good when they succeed. So somehow it seems to me as I'm the one to beat. Well, the story is, I don't know exactly how I got it, but most probably it's the result of a very hard fall. Since then there's a high frequency sound in my left ear. It's bugging me in my everyday life, and especially when I'm going to bed. It's really hard to fall asleep with that constant sound in my head. I don't think that tinnitus affects my riding in any way. Yeah, I can't really complain about my balance. Luckily, I can forget it completely when I'm relaxed or focused, which is the situation whenever I'm doing sport. I didn't ride from October 2008 until June 2009, 7 months without downhill skateboarding, and I played third at the World Cup in Perugudes. For some racers, that was hard to accept. Even for me, it was somehow a surprise, but it showed me that I can still be fast without riding that often. Ships will burn and be built again, making waves. Relive those days, like floating statues lost in space, making waves. After all, I'm under the impression that my behavior in the scene, being a sober athlete, has definitely opened a few people's eyes. I think in my beginning I had the image of being way too serious, only happy when I'm on first spot. Yeah, I'm a competitive person and I'm racing for the win, so when I'm not number one, then I need to improve and I need to do something. You need to know exactly where you're gonna foot brake, where to slide, and what line works best. It's the race against the clock, but the best thing in downhill skateboarding is to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to skate some gnarly mountain passes. My big challenge, beside being number one in racing, is to beat myself. I want to get faster and faster. It's that feeling when I'm riding. I'm racing for 7 years and it didn't get boring yet. So I'm trying to be as fast as possible, and I really love to work on that goal.
Michel Urban from Canada is another one of the new stars, and he also fits into that mindset. Then we have some guys who are a little crazier. Scoot Smith, his breakthrough win was here last year at Maryhill, and he went on this year and won at Almabtrieb in Germany, which was just, at that point, the strongest field that had ever been assembled for a downhill skateboarding race. And Scoot won it and is a true champion, And he looks wild with his green hair and everything else, but he's a pretty serious guy and a really good guy. We like Scoot a lot. Kevin Reimer is almost kind of the phenom, He came in at 17 years old. I first saw him down in California as a junior, and he came in and just was blowing people's doors off. And now I think Kevin's 19 or something like that, and he's maybe the most dominant downhill skater in the world.
To pretty much explore our physical limit. We're sliding through a turn for sometimes 50 or 100 feet beforehand just to get down to the proper speed. And if we do it the right way, we get to take maximum exit speed out of it and, thus launch into the next. This is a crazy gun battle going on here, as you can see. The guns, airsoft guns, the Festival of Airsoft. It's ridiculous. I've been pelleted many times. Last night I just got hit in the eye. It really hurts, but it's fun. You get to kind of act all like you're cops and robbers and full-on shootout. It's crazy. Helmets, you need glasses for sure. It's dangerous. As far as where I'd like to see the sport go, I'd like to see all of us push to our limit when we show up to a race course. I'd love it if we were at the top and we were all sort of thinking about going to drop in, but not really sure about it. But if we had hills where we were really pushed to ride the hill itself and make it down, it would be extremely exciting. It would be excellent. I think the States, and California in particular, has the best roads and the most amount of pavement compared to anywhere else in the world. And thus, California is probably top spot.
Forehead and the cheek.
As far as people really pushing the level of what we're doing, there's Louis Poloni. We got James Kelly. I'd like to say myself, I don't know if that's quite accurate, but I like to go to all the crazy hills, and that's what I love. I have a dream of living free and skateboarding.
At least with the IGSA, this all started with Street Luge. That's where we got going with ESPN, and we had the X Games, which was the one big event. But after that, there were only all these tiny little events that were almost just being dragged along by the X Games because they were qualifying events for the X Games. But there was no infrastructure like we have here at Maryhill or any of these other races around the world. They were rinky-dink. Well, slowly, the downhill skateboard guys started asking us, hey, can we run at your events too? And, it's just been a matter of trying to make the small events to make ends meet. So we brought in the downhill skateboarders, and from there it just grew. And all of a sudden, in the last 3 years, downhill skateboarding has just exploded. We're seeing our numbers double every year of competitors.
I'm James Kelly. I'm from Northern California, and I'm 19. I grew up in Petaluma, California, which is a small town about 40 minutes north of San Francisco. We had nice hills around there, and I just explored through my town, commuting, going up and down hills every day, and my skill level grew, and I found steeper, faster hills to go down, and that continued to grow until I found myself down in Southern California, living with 3 great skaters and progressing our skills every day on the best hills we can find. I'm living with Louis Poloni and Brent Dubendorf. Louis and I both work for Loaded Longboards, and our job down there is to progress our skills and to progress the sport of longboarding. That entails organizing events and free rides down in Los Angeles, and it entails us going out and doing what we love the most, skateboarding a lot. I was diagnosed with dyslexia when I was beginning school in kindergarten. When I was going through school, I had to really figure out what I needed to do to compensate for the areas that my disability affected me. It took me till like 3rd grade to learn how to read well, and still kind of read slowly, but not too bad at all. Now I find it later in life, I'm starting to grow up a lot more. It's not holding me back too much, but still find myself writing numbers backwards, letters backwards, and still can't spell at all. Really bad spelling. But you know, it's 21st century and now we have spell check.
James Kelly, the American Dream. He's been longboarding for a long time, and you can see it in his style. He's natural on a longboard, and he knows the level of traction that he gets, and he's worked his mind into the intelligence that you need in order to figure out how to get down a hill the fastest way. It's beautiful to watch James. He's got amazing style, pulls off some stuff I can't believe. Right now he's pushing freestyle longboarding, I guess you'd say, riding soft wheels and that sort of thing to its maximum potential. James is just awesome dude, simple, like skateboarding.
Get up. Get 3, 2, 1, go! You're right on top of your 41.
Well, racing and freeriding are a big difference. Losing traction is so much fun on a longboard, but it's definitely not the fastest way down a race course. So somebody can go down a hill and have so much fun, do 180s and slide all over the place, and they can go to a race course and like not be up to the people that have been like training to hit lines that whole time. Different styles of riding, but free riding in its own is like such a blissful feeling to be able to go down a hill and just carve back and forth. Just sliding on a longboard is so amazing. To be able to lose traction at 30, 40 miles an hour and hook back up again and catch yourself and slide the other direction. It's great. Spotters.
Oh, that was gnarly. That was super gnarly. My name is Louis Poloni. I'm from Los Angeles, California, and I'm 23 years old. The community is growing, more riders coming in, and this year is the biggest that it's been with more competition than the previous years, and I don't see it slowing down. So far, the year has been amazing. I got to go to Europe for my first time. I traveled with Patrick Swisher, Jackson Shapira, and James Kelly. And we rented a car and spent 40 days going from race to race, country to country, experiencing all the cultures. It was definitely a life-changing experience. It was the first World Cup race out in the Pyrenees Mountains, the Périgord. Second year in a row the event's running. It's a really fast track with technical high-speed hairpins. My strongest part is sliding, and you needed a slide to really be fast through the course, and paid off with the win. Yeah, I was really stoked. Racing's a lot of fun. Free riding's even more fun, and winning a race just, you know, adds to it. It just, you know, put a smile on my face. Couldn't be any happier.
Later on, I got something to say. I can't say it now. I'm off to LA. I got a place I can stay. Nothing to do except think about you.
We go out to Malibu and relax and hitchhike and go down the fastest, funnest hills we can find all day.
So I'm taking out history books and circling your name. I wonder why you left and I wonder why you came. Wonder a whole lot of stinking.
The new style is kind of not using your gloves, not using your hands at all, not foot braking, just going down the hills that you would normally speedboard down, but in shorts and a t-shirt and doing big stand-up slides and trying to look cool. And I'm just bad at it. I grab rail and I put my hand down like it's my job.
Later on, I got something to say. Can't say it now. I'm off to LA. I got a place I can stay, but nothing to do except think about you.
Yeah, but great day skating. Lots of fun.
Just to see past that every once in a while and just kind of see that winning isn't everything, even when it is. Got a little out of line there. Okay, my name is Erik Lundberg. Growing up in Sweden, I kind of saw that coming when I was like 14, 15 years of age, and it's 6 months where it's kind of cold, it's dark, and I still feel it, and I love the scoreboard, and I'm a competitive guy, like you don't know, but downhill skateboarding, it's so fantastic. It's hard to, you know, put it on a piece of paper how it feels, or put it in words even, you know, how good it is, or how cool it is, or how much of a rush it is, or how calming it is. It's so hard to put a finger on what it is. My family didn't know about it really, that I would love the whole traveling scene, but as soon as I got into it and, you know, starting to explore different things, I kind of felt that I was coming to the right environment. Going skateboarding itself and going really fast, it's the coolest feeling that I've ever experienced. I've been traveling and I've been winning races in like 4 different continents since I really got into it, and I've been seeing so many different places. And when I was coming home, I kind of felt like I was just there to, you know, say hi to my friends and say hi to my family and be, you know, where I'm safe. But at the same time, I was just looking back to go to those places, you know, where it was warm and where I could skate and where I could surf and where I could just kind of let loose a little bit and just explore. Downhill skateboarding, it's so fantastic, and it's so pure. Like, I'm on a skateboard and I'm going down this hill and I feel like it's attached to my feet and nothing is gonna go wrong. And there's a corner coming up, and you just know that you're gonna get your board sideways, and it's gonna stick, and it's gonna make this and that noise, and you're gonna go down to this speed, and you're in full control. You're fully in tune with the hill and your skateboard, and that's what is amazing, really. It depends on the person and the rider, and we all see the hills and the corners so differently.
Maryhill Festival of Speed, living up to its name, the Festival of Speed, the Festival of Bleed, the Festival of Needs. IGSA, Volcanic Promotions. We are getting pounded up here. The trees are flowing downhill. Riders are going to be flowing downhill faster than they've ever been flowing downhill before. The ABEC 11. Huge sponsors of this year's Maryhill Festival of Speed. Thank you to our sponsors, all course workers, volunteers. Thank you to the people cooking the burgers. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
My name is Chris Chaput. I'm 47 years old. I'm from Huntington Beach, California. My history in skateboarding dates back to 1974 when I first started, the year that the urethane wheel was invented. I was doing a lot of freestyle skateboarding, as were a lot of people at that time. Started entering competitions and rose to the level of world championship for boys 12 to 14 in 1975. and became the world freestyle skateboard champion in 1976 in the Long Beach Sports Arena. My body's starting to really feel the effects of over 30 years of riding, and I want to support the sport, film the sport, and get on the other side of the camera lens and promote a lot of the younger, hotter skaters that are coming up to the ranks. I want to go out on top, and to win at Maryhill would be kind of the icing on the cake. Oh my God, you never even know where the competition's gonna come from because there's so many good riders and there's so much parity. Scoot is last year's winner and he's continuing to have successes overseas. Tom Edstrand of Land Yachts is always in it. He won in 2006. Misha Urban has come up a couple times as a second place winner. You can never count him out. Martin Segrist from Switzerland is a fantastic rider. K-Rhymes has been on fire. You just never know, but there's a good chance whoever it is going to be on green wheels.
I'm Scott Smith. I'm from Pender Harbor, BC, and I'm 22 years old. Skateboarding, I don't want skateboarding to be my girlfriend. Skateboarding is my passion. I spend all the time that I can get doing it, and I like skateboarding with other people the most, with my buddies, with Team Green. I love downhill skateboarding so much I tattooed my team on my arm. We're just a bunch of good-looking skateboarders that like bombing hills. We went to high school together, graduated together, and we're going to continue to skateboard together. Sandy Charlton, a.k.a. Sandman, Rylan English, a.k.a. Raggy, Mike Rusin, a.k.a. Poozin, and then Bryson Lyons, striker.
All over the world, we have a longboarding epidemic. Scoot Smith, one rugged green goblin, man. The guy's a world champion. He's defending champion of Maryhill. You watch him.
In 2008, when I became world champion, it was awesome. It's what my goal was. From small town Pender Harbor, Scoot becomes world champion. And it's cool because a lot of the older people in town start to talk to me more, and because they're seeing me in the local paper, and yeah, it's rewarding. It's like a good self-accomplishment. I never thought that I would get it, because that was my first try at the World Cup Series was in 2008. In 2007, I went to like 2 or 3 races and got 5th, and I was like, whoa, I probably got a chance in 2008. And started hitting all the races, and it was like, wow, I'm in it. It was sick. My first goal was just to get on the Land Yachts longboard team. Whenever I had downtime when I wasn't racing or training, I'd be out drywalling with my dad. I worked for Precise Painting and Plaster, and I like doing construction. I like being at work and cracking jokes with your buddies and just breaking a sweat and then earning something and then going to go skateboarding. Getting to all 8 IGSA races is really, really tough. You need a lot of financial help. You just gotta like scrounge every coin you got. 2008, start of the season, I worked 14 hours a day. I'd go to work 8 hours, come home, eat dinner, and go back to work till it was dark, till I had enough. Some days I'd work 4 hours after work. Some days I'd work less, but it takes up a lot of time. And then you gotta find time to practice too. So save your money and chill out when you're at home. You can't really party that much. There's a lot of tough guys to beat here at Maryhill, like Nate the Great, K-Rhymes, James Kelly, Zach Madem. A lot of guys are really fast. A couple guys are riding their slalom decks, and they can take really tight lines, and sometimes they surprise you and cut in on your inside, and it gets a little scary and hectic. But obviously, Misha Urban. I haven't got to do too many runs with him, but when we get to racing, hopefully I'm on his side of the bracket, because I'd like to race him.
Misha Urban, 25 years old. I was born in the Czech Republic in Prague. I moved to Canada in 1988 during the Calgary Olympics. January 2003, that's where it kind of took off. I slowly started learning how to manage my speed, take turns, slow down, stop. Growing up as a kid, never really had anything I really considered a full passion or ever devoting my time to anything 100% other than maybe drawing. When I was in high school, I liked comics a lot. After the first run that I made down to the bottom with a bunch of people, I was beyond stoked. It was a different feeling. Everybody was happy. Everybody was in the moment, riding down, having such a blast that it took off on me, the whole racing part of downhill and longboarding. Just kind of exponentially blew up from there. Shortboard never really appealed to me with hard wheels. I wanted to glide a little bit better and have more fun. And that was the beginning. I tried to skateboard for about a week. I really liked it, got to class a lot faster, had fun on the way, and decided to buy my own board. As soon as school finished, I got back home, and I live halfway up a road that goes to a ski resort. And I just kind of realized what I've been sitting on the whole time I've been there, and especially the road outside my house. I'd just walk out of my driveway, put my board down, step on it, and go. At the bottom of what's like usually a 6-minute run, I just stick out my thumb and wait for the next ride up, getting like 6 to 8 rides a day.
Dinking around?
Yeah.
You did it to me first.
I wasn't gonna have any of that shit. That's rad, dude. But there aren't a lot of people who are going and finding crazy hills and going for it, you know, pushing the level of what we can do. Instead, we get a lot of people who are more just training on the hills that they know so they can dial them in rather than pushing themselves to the limit. A lot of the issue, I think, stems from the fact that when you do push the limit, you tend to fall.
All right, I'm Zach Madom, I'm 18, I'm from Boulder, Colorado. We have a really, really fast road in Colorado. Speculate it's the world's fastest road. And last year, Brent Dubendorf, Kevin Reimer, and I were kind of trying to do like a 3-man draft train to get speeds kind of over 80 miles an hour. And there's one part of the road where you have to use both lanes and you have a spotter telling you if there's going to be a car. And I was in front and the spotter was throwing up the X saying there's a car in the lane. And I just put out my hands just a little bit to air brake. And at that kind of speed, it's a parachute. It kind of blew me up straight, and Dubendorf put his hand on me from behind, just pushed me off my board. And so I hit the ground at about 70 and broke my foot as soon as I stepped off the board, and then we all ragdolled down the road. And I raced Maryhill here the next weekend with a broken foot. So that was probably my most brutal wreck to date.
Ooh, my worst crash. That was not very much fun. Crashing into a guardrail at probably about 40, 45 miles an hour. There was a bent chunk of metal sticking off the bottom. It actually slashed my patellar tendon right through my leather suit and everything. Mostly the big issue at the time was that I was just getting to the point where I was competitive, and it was all taken away so fast in one crash.
I had one a couple months ago where I managed to go under the guardrail in a left-hand turn, but a friend of mine, Kavika from Colorado, hit the post and shattered 7 vertebrae. And he's actually just recently gotten back on a board. He's a fighter. Oh, I considered the sport dangerous before that. I'd wrecked a helmet before that. I'd taken a lot of falls where I took a week off because I was scared to get back on a board. But that's just the scenario you never want to see, but it happens, and I'm going to keep doing it. I bought a spine protector after that. So there are only about 8 riders who ride in Colorado, and there are 5 of us here, and the 3 guys who are back home have a broken back. The other guy who just got hit by a car, and the other guy has a broken collarbone from hitting a deer on his skateboard, and a separated shoulder that's about here.
The risk is high. You got all the different factors, your trucks, your bushings, everything. It's hard to say what the risks are, but I do it for a thrill, so.
Gnarliest fail I've ever had in downhill skateboarding was in Brazil last year in October. I was drafting Kevin Reimer coming down this hill. We went into blind. I gave him a little push, and I was gonna draft up and slingshot by. We were in the oncoming lane to traffic, and I dove into the right-hand lane, and I didn't see this really gnarly patch in the road. Stood right up, wobbled out, and just got flung over onto my shoulder and hyperextended my shoulder when I rolled. Sprained my ankle. It was just ragdolled at 105K, so it was brutal. Couldn't walk for 4 days and couldn't use my left shoulder, so crutches were hard. I kind of just had to, hobble around. That was definitely my worst crash.
Hit a boulder and just went ass over tea kettle. When I hit the ground, I broke my arm and four bones in my foot. I'm Canadian, and we are fucking crazy.
We're probably doing about 100 at this point, and you get up, 100 wobs into the next lane. His board hits my board sideways. I go down, he jumps over me, and my ankle snaps.
I even laid in the grass for a little while and tried to get rid of the birds and all the spots in front of my eyes. There's a person that crashed in front of me, and my helmet met his helmet. I got my face smashed up a little.
I stopped crashing for like 3 months or something. Stopped crashing on my skateboard just because it hurts so much. So I've been trying to stay on my board the entire time, every corner. And it's been working out for like a while at least. But it's not gonna last forever, but right now I'm just on the surface feeling it and feeling a little invincible, maybe.
I mean, I've seen more bones sticking out of legs than any person should probably see in their whole life. Way more, actually. And every time I see this, it takes a little piece of me. I hear somebody who's a good friend of mine, and I see them laying there, and they're screaming in pain, and it's really hard to take. And I start to ask myself, wow, do I really want to condone this and actually, make this happen for these people? But then I realize, how much they love it and why they do it, and, we're making it as safe as possible. I think they would do it anyway, so yeah. I mean, I don't race anymore in the downhill sports, but if I did, I know I would just want the opportunity to be out there racing and be very thankful that I had that opportunity.
There's this huge group of people here in the United States and Canada that come here quite a bit. I ask them what do they think about the road, and they say, all year, all I've been dreaming is coming to this race in this road. It's amazing. It's perfect pavement. It's 22 corners. It's 2.2 miles long. It's beautiful out here, and we got the family skating it.
My name is Billy Miners, 22, and I'm from Portland, Oregon. I'm a professional student right now, and I'll probably be doing that for a little while. School keeps you busy, skate during the summer, try and study during the winter. I think last winter I was out here 5 weeks in a row, so just hitting it week after week, I mean, a lot of these guys get to skate it once a year, so coming out here all winter long is a big advantage for the locals.
After last year, John Osmond organized such a beautiful event here at Maryhill, and it's such a beautiful and unique road. It has the technical aspects with all the cornering. It has great pavement. It has nice speed. And it's a good challenge, the nice length, and just the beautiful surroundings.
It's got a little mystique about it, because it's one of those hills that you look at and it is just it's sexy. It's curvaceous. It's golden against black. It's rolling hills that have these sweeping turns coming through it. For anybody that likes roads, plays on roads and any kind of wheels, you'll look at Maryhill and you'll be like, that's a sexy road.
My first run down Maryhill this year was my qualifying, so I didn't get any practice, but it was really good. Yeah, so it was a big running joke about my name's Brienne, but I keep being called Brian for some reason. Something to do with me skating like a guy. I get it, it's okay. I think I got 22nd out of 175 guys this year. So I'm pretty excited about that. Made it into the open class. Katie made it into the open class. I think we're the only two girls that have been racing against the men at Maryhill this year, so we're gunning for it.
I'm definitely still gonna race today. It's lots of fun. If it's raining, it's even better, I think. Makes it more interesting, that's for sure.
Plan in the final is to stay on my board. Plain and simple, you know. It's gonna be hard to get into the front, but not crashing is gonna be the key.
I want to win Maryhill 2009 going fast, not in the rain, so let's see if it's dry.
Yeah, just had a very wet run down with Kevin and DeLua and Louie and best racers in the world, and lots of carnage, lots of gnarliness, lots of sliding. But at the end, I rode my board backwards to the finish line because I had to grab it after a crash, but fucking going to the finals.
Tried to go inside, so I cut over on the road. Then I had to rodeo on the inside, like lift my hand up. The hay was like rubbing against my ribs, and Switzer hold a tight line, and it was good to make it through clean.
The level of competition is just going up, up, up now, and at an event like this, there's probably 15 guys who have a realistic shot of winning it. I mean, it's a crapshoot who's gonna win. We don't know. It's gonna be very exciting to see.
Right now in the finals, going against Scoot, last year's champion, then Micho, very talented racer, my good friend Patrick Switzer, going against DeLua from Brazil, and then Nate the Great from Canada.
So right now I'm working in downtown Vancouver as a bike courier. Yeah, just ripping around on my bike all day. Doesn't pay very well, but just gotta save the cash for races. So just riding through gridlock traffic all day. It's pretty similar to this actually. It's my livelihood right now, and it fits well with my lifestyle, so it's really fun.
And me, that's 6 of us, all over the world, very qualified, stoked skateboarders.
It's not going to be easy with that many good riders, young, fearless riders, but it will definitely be interesting.
Okay, here we go. This is what we all been waiting for. Are you guys ready for this? International Gravity Sports Association. This is what it's all about. Maryhill, Festival of Speed. The Festival of Speed, the finals. He's right now IGSA top points. Ladies and gentlemen, Micho Urban has never won a Maryhill Festival of Speed. Douglas DeLua hates skating in the rain, and he's here today. Who else we have? Nate the Great. He's never had a Maryhill. He wants one. Looks good. Okay, this is gonna be crazy. We got some fast guys here. This is what we all been waiting for. Ladies and gentlemen, Scoot Smith is on the line. And James Kelly, the American Dream, hugging Patrick Switzer. These guys are all good buddies. The Festival of Speed, the finals is here. This is his hill. The Suicide Bomber's on the line. He's looking hot, fast. The best in the world on the line right now. They're all skating for different reasons. They all want pledge. They're all on the line, ready to go. The line's pulled back.
I can't even explain the family. The only way to know is to come to the races and feel the love between everyone. You're never gonna hit a sport that just has so much competition and so much love for each other, and it goes when we're free riding and having fun too.
The guy who wins the World Cup series at the end of the year is $20,000 in debt and can't even support his plane tickets off of that. So a sport can't sustain itself on people like on a labor of love for very long, unfortunately.
Because you're saving your money for downhill skateboarding, and you're just devoted and dedicated to the sport.
downhill skateboarding is my passion. It's the first thing to take hold of me. I wouldn't give it up for anything in the world.
Everything's going to grow. With that growth will come more money, which will mean that people can actually make a living at this whole thing.
And downhill skateboarding, as it is today, we're all content on where it is, that it's a small sport, that it doesn't have the gravity arena, so we don't have special stadiums built for us. But
if we never gain full acceptance, we'll still be this core group of people that like to do something. Not necessarily everybody agrees with us that skateboarding down a road with cars and guardrails and stuff would be the wisest of activities to do on a Sunday morning or something like that, but that's just what we do.
You know, even as the sport grows and gets bigger than a lot of people maybe might want it to, we want to keep it family. I mean, that's what keeps it true and healthy, I believe.
It's incredible. It's a good experience, good way to see the world, great way to spread the love of skateboarding, no matter what you do, whether it's on the hill or in the park, on the street, anywhere.
Or something really cool happens, and you get all like excited and you get all stoked. You just float up to the surface and you're all in tune. That's where I want to be, I guess. I just want to be right by the surface, just right in there.